providing land and water for agriculture.
What this is an investment in our productivity.
Facilitating housing.
This moment marks more than the start of construction.
Assuring business leaders in the private sector and nurturing future chess grandmasters. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Welcome. Last week started on a high note for Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness as he launched the eagerly anticipated Panaceus Agropark and commissioned the Panaceus Irrigation system. Both were done under the Southern Plains Agriculture Development Project, which is being funded by a grant of over £17 million or 3.5 billion Jamaican dollars from the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, UKCIF.
This agropark represents a future where Jamaican farmers are empowered, communities are revitalized, and our country moves closer to a competitive and climate-resilient agriculture sector.
The facility is delivering nearly 400 hectares of irrigated land for farmers in Clarendon, almost 9.6 million gallons of water per day, improved facilities for farmers to handle and store their harvest, and 12 kilometers of new roads. Prime Minister Holness says the project allows for more sustained agriculture production by increasing the percentage of Jamaica's arable lands under irrigation.
With this and Essex Valley, the Southern Plains Agricultural Development Project, SPAD it is called, we will probably get close to 20% of our arable lands irrigated. And when we do Pedro Plains, which is well on its way, we would have moved our irrigated lands to being about 50% of our arable lands. Can you imagine the fundamental shift in our agricultural productivity when we are able to mitigate and control for weather impacts on our arable land? It's a big thing.
Dr. Holness hails the investment as a major step in boosting production and lowering food prices.
Agriculture is not just a pillar of our economy, it is the foundation of our national food security. As global supply chains face increasing pressure and climate change threatens traditional productive systems, it is more important than ever that we as a country can feed ourselves.
Meanwhile, farmers who previously occupied the land were formalized under the project.
They made sure to give you proper lease arrangements. Some of you went to Hart and got trained. 240 farmers were trained. That's how we take care of our people.
The focus shifted in Montego Bay to housing. Over in Spot Valley, Prime Minister Holness broke ground for 418 one- and two-bedroom units at the Brookside Estate Housing Development. They are being built under the National Housing Trust's Guaranteed Purchase Program.
This moment marks more than the start of construction. It signifies our continued commitment to making the dream of home ownership a reality for thousands of Jamaicans. Brookside Estate represents the government's firm belief that every Jamaican family, regardless of income, regardless of social status, deserves access to safe, affordable, and modern housing.
From there, it was on to Rhine Park for a tour of the Housing Agency of Jamaica's Edmund Ridge project.
There are 739 housing solutions that will be constructed here. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are already completed, I believe occupied already, and those communities are flourishing communities. You already have a citizens association in place. Phase 3 is already sold out. And phase 4
5 and 6 are underway in varying stages.
Meanwhile, Dr. Holness was updated by the UDC on repairs to the grounds at Harmony Beach Park, which were damaged by waves in February of this year. Repairs to the northern gully wall is completed, and full repairs to other areas is expected by September.
We are now at a point where we have to spend $500 million on protecting this $2 billion investment. So I want the people of Jamaica to understand that climate change is real. It has fiscal impact, budgetary impacts, and the government is doing the best it can to ensure that the assets that we have that are coastal, that are low-lying, that are at risk of sea level rise and other climate activity, that we are making the investments to protect them.
Another item on the Prime Minister's itinerary was to meet with the leaders of the private sector to discuss urgent international trade-related issues. At the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica PSOJ Partners Circle Breakfast meeting, Dr. Holness assured members that the government would continue to strategically engage bilateral partners on critical issues.
So, for the government, you would have noticed that we have taken a very strategic approach. We have avoided hyperbolic comments. We have been very measured in our statements, and we have sought to engage. And I give the private sector the assurance that you will not have to suffer at the altar of ideology.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has reiterated the government's support for the popularization of chess across the island as another avenue through which Jamaicans can pursue and achieve greatness. The government invested an initial $40 million last year to support the undertaking of the Grandmaster in 10 initiative by the Jamaica Chess Federation. As a former competitive chess player, the Prime Minister says the path to achieve Jamaica's first chess grandmaster within 10 years lies in supporting the infrastructure for young talent to excel.
We're going to create the superstructure to ensure that the talent we discover and support, that they are facilitated, that the connections are made so that they get the exposure, because that's a critical part of it. But more importantly, that you know that your government and your country values your effort.
Dr. Holness was speaking at a meet and greet event put on by the Federation for Jamaican American Chess Grandmaster Maurice Ashley and Hungarian Chess Grandmaster Judith Polgar. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.